Welcome to another edition of Carnivore Bites. I'm your host, Jeff Sherman, along with Dr. Eric Lopkin. Again, an eventful week, Dr. Lopkin. First, I have a question for you. The FBI report, that's due at the end of the week. Is that true?
Yeah, they were given until Friday.
Okay, and then they vote on Friday. Is that true?
Supposedly, the Senate is saying that they want to hold a vote on Friday.
And what do you think is going to happen at this point?
I don't know. I think it depends on if the FBI manages to find anything. I think it's going to be close. I have a feeling, though, he's going
Jeff
to
Blake. What is going on with him?
Jeff Blake, I think, is setting the stage for a 2020 run,
which he has zero chance of attaining.
Well, I mean, he's pushing for the primaries. He's trying to show that he could win a general because he'll have some Democratic support from all of this. But
I think he's going to vote against Kavanaugh just for political reasons.
It's possible.
And by the way, you're crazy because he has zero chance. He has like a 15% approval in his own state.
Oh, well, having an approval rating doesn't mean he can't run. I mean,
anyone can run. I can run.
Remember, we had Senator Dodd running, and he never even beat the margin of error in the polls.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying he still has no chance of actually winning.
Oh, no. There's no way he could beat Trump in 2020.
There you go. So you got Kavanaugh, you got New York Times. It seems like there's a concerted effort to remove, deface, devalue this presidency. And I truly believe it's the deep state, whatever you want to call it, the entrenched powers, because I think they're scared to death. Look at Obama. The new normal was 1.5 to 2% growth, wasn't it?
All right.
I think they're scared to death of what's going on. You got 4%. We're not engaged in crazy wars. He's pulling back in that area. I think things are going quite well if you're looking for a job and you're in America right now. I don't see what the outrage is about. If it was Obama, they'd be giving him awards.
It's true. They can't stand that an outsider came in and did what they all couldn't do. And in fact, what they said was impossible. I mean, right now, Amazon announced this week that their starting salary is going to be $15 an hour. The reason they did this is because it is becoming impossible to find people to work.
Oh, they didn't put it because they're nice people. No. To get someone to work, you need to pay them, I would say minimum right now, like $15 an hour.
Right.
I mean, why would you work? You're not going to work for 12. Why?
Right. And this is how minimum wage is supposed to work. It's when the jobs need to be filled.
Oh, yeah. No. But
it's market forces.
Liberals and Democrats who know nothing about the economy and have no inclination to know or no desire think you have to regulate minimum wage. Obviously, Trump kind of self-regulated it, didn't he?
Right. Wages have actually been going up over Trump faster than they've been going up.
So Bernie Sanders' argument falls on kind of deaf ears. So.
Oh, yes. Sanders doesn't know what he's talking about. He's got no clue about the economy.
He's good for sound bites, and that's about it.
Pretty much.
In a nutshell. Yes. Even the New York Times were aghast on how little he actually knows. So the big enchilada is the midterms. My take on it is the Kavanaugh hearing did not help the Democrats, and it actually articulated and spotlighted Feinstein, Spartacus, and others, and Blumenthal is pretty much empty buffoons.
I actually
comment.
I think the Kavanaugh situation is going to energize the conservative base and Trump's backers.
That's my whole point. That is exactly what I'm saying. That I think it actually, and you see this happening. Close races now are leaning towards Republicans, and it wasn't true 2 weeks ago. Actually, 3 weeks ago, I thought it might have actually going to start being a blue wave, but I think that's completely untrue at this point.
I think they shot themselves in the foot. Right now, they were talking about to swing the House, they need to convert 23 seats. There are 10 Democrats running for re-election in districts that voted for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to hold on to those seats, swing 23 more. It's looking like it's going to be harder and harder for them to do this.
And if it doesn't happen, what happens to Pelosi?
I don't know, because Pelosi has screwed up so many times. I've predicted over and over again they'll finally get rid of her, and they keep bringing her back. I don't think they've got a bench. I think they're so stupid that they just keep doubling down and leave her there.
I think the Democratic leadership is scared to death of the progressive / socialists, and no one, even though everyone knows Uncle Louie's crazy, no one wants to mention it.
Oh, they're definitely scared. Their incumbents are being beaten by these socialists who are pulling the party even further to the left. None of these people has any idea how the economy works, how government works. Most of them don't even know basics. I mean, we've heard interviews with this idiot running in New York, whose name I keep forgetting, with the socialist darling. She doesn't know anything.
And by the way, Obama endorsed her.
Of course he did.
Mm-hmm. So my prediction, we'll kind of end on this note. My prediction is there is no blue wave. I think the Republicans hang on maybe 5, maybe 8 seats, meaning the difference. They have an 8-seat, 5-seat margin in Congress, and I actually think they pick up 2 seats in the Senate.
Yeah, I think people hoping for a blue wave are going to be surprised, because with the new NAFTA deal, Trump just protected auto workers and he's bringing more jobs back. It's harder and harder to find employees.
Have an argument.
It's harder to find employees. So people, if they want a job, they've got it. And the wages have been going up faster than the last 20 years. So it's very hard to convince people that he's bad for them. I mean, even, Bill Maher said a while back, he hopes there's a recession so people will vote Trump out. But according to all the economic indicators, there's no sign of a recession coming till at least 2020 and possibly further out.
Exactly. So it'll be interesting to see. I think it will be fun. I would think it'd be must-see TV to watch CNN or MSNBC during the midterm elections. I'm definitely getting a nice bag of popcorn for that one. How about you?
That should be interesting because, turn it on, eat some popcorn, and watch people's heads explode.
Awesome. Dr. Lopkin, thanks so much. Again, a lot of stuff going on, some good analysis, and until next time.
See you next week.
You've been listening to Carnivore Radio's podcast. You can catch us here every week. Carnivore Radio is part of the Xvadio podcast network. You can listen to the podcast at blogtalkradio.com/Xvadio. If you want to be part of the conversation, you can listen to us live every Friday at 4 o'clock on WESU 88.1 Middletown, Connecticut. You can also catch us online at WESUFM.org. We look forward to hearing from you and see you next week.